Pakistan to the UK,
Okay.
to study. And then obviously, from the very first day, they had this intention that they're going to stay back in the UK,
Right.
probably earn more for the family and then send money back home,
Right.
and we have this culture over here. And over the years from 1970s or 1960s, a lot of Pakistanis have been traveling to different parts of the country where a lot of human resource was required. And
Right.
we are rich with human resource, and certainly
True.
this is the way forward for people who might not have had some amazing education or probably not some amazing backgrounds. I think what happened there was, because I have an example in the family that one of my cousins went to the UK, he
Okay.
went there to study, he completed his studies, then he wanted to stay back because it is, no matter what we say, it is
Right.
a developed country. There are multiple opportunities for people over there, and alhamdulillah, the livelihood is better. So imagine that even if somebody is going to work at a fast food shop, he will still be getting 10 pounds an hour, no matter
True.
what happens. But if you overstay and you certainly do not have a valid visa, that salary is going to come down to £6 probably
Right.
an hour, and people do take advantage of that. Not just that, so whatever meager amount of money you make, even if you have overstayed, imagine the rest of amount of the money you're actually paying to a solicitor who actually came through a friend, wasn't authorized, and then eventually you end up spending thousands of pounds but still do not get that visa or immigration process through, and you have to come back to Pakistan. So to avoid you from all of this hassle, ladies and gentlemen, today we have an amazing guest over here inside the studios who actually happens to be somebody who is the Solicitor of Supreme Court of England and Wales. He happens to be Mr. Zubair Rashid. Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning, how are you?
Walaikum assalam, and very good morning to Pakistan, and thank you very much for having me here.
And thank you very much for flying all the way from England to over here, Pakistan, being on our show. It's
Right.
wonderful to have you over here.
But Shahzad, we've seen that in general there is a very hostile environment towards the migration, and then there's a debate about immigration and the refugees, and generally the Western countries, they're very resistant towards the migration because they say that there's a right-wing sentiments around Europe. So what's your take on that, especially on the hostility which a lot of people faces, and how to plan your the immigration status, and how to go about it?
Right, immigration is a very sensitive issue in Western countries, especially in Europe, and more particularly in England or Britain. Because remember, Britain is a small country,
Right.
right? It has resources, but it has limited resources. When the whole Asia, when the whole world start to make their ways to the UK, the people get disturbed, right? So that's why you always see in England, in Britain, time to time, there's always a criticism on the UK immigration policy, right? In the whole Europe, England is like a very favorite child where everybody want to come in, legal or illegal ways.
Exactly.
As he rightly said that in the beginning, when you are on a legal visa, on the right visa, you are fine. But sooner you become an overstayer, right, you start to get exploited.
True.
That's why we are here to give the message to our Pakistani youth or to anybody coming to England, try to stay within your legal visa status.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Don't go beyond that.
Yes. Otherwise, you end up spending thousands and thousands of pounds for rest of your life, could be up to 20 years.
True.
Because that's how the law works in England. Might sound very, very cruel, but this is how things work over there. You have to stay 20 years, or unless you have a child born there,
Right.
up to 7 years, then you can get sort of immigration status.
Right.
True.
In terms of, as you said, that people, England or Britain or Europe has very hostile policy. The reason is that whenever there is a war, torn country, they all expect to go to England.
Right.
Whether it's Syria, whether it's Iraq, whether it's
But I
Afghanistan.
think there was a lot of racism in those policies because they open-heartedly accepted people from the Ukraine, while the same treatment was meted out to the people from Afghanistan, from Syria, from.
But he's not
other
representing the government. I mean, I think he's
No.
here to kind of offer a solution
No,
for
you
people who
asked
overstay.
very interesting question,
Yeah.
and I think you come across to me more politician rather than than
No,
to be
I think
fair.
I'm better off as a
This
journalist.
question is highly asked or criticized in England.
True.
Why Ukrainians get more favorable treatment when it comes to refugees? Why not other countries?
Yeah.
Right. So England has its take on it. To be fair,
Right.
their Home Secretary has explained we can There's a way for everybody. When there was war in Iraq, when there was war in Afghanistan,
Right.
when there was war in Syria,
Right.
or Libya, wherever, we always took the people on board.
Yeah.
So now this is the time for Ukraine. Even they took the people from Afghanistan, I think up to 25,000, that's what they promised.
But not more than Pakistan. I think, you know, if we talk about refugees, I think Pakistan has a larger number of it. It all depends on having a big heart. But we'll come down to that.
I agree on that
Yeah,
as well.
but
I
we-
agree.
But our, you know, a point of discussion today
Yeah.
is people who've overstayed, you know,
Yeah.
people who are planning to go to England as well. And, you know, just answering up what Hajar said, I believe that, you know, people over there, they're very safe, you know, so they would use their mouth to say whatever, but they will never use their hands. So I think whatever people have to say, you certainly do not have to bother about that because the country is very inclusive, first of all. I mean, imagine, we just saw Rehan Ahmed playing, representing England in the test series
I
as
mean,
well.
that's debatable.
Okay, but we'll talk about it. But now, sir, you know, for example, people who overstayed, I've seen that they waste a lot of money. When do you think that they need to realize that they're in denial and they really need to understand that, you know, nothing's going to happen with my immigration and that I need to save all the money I have and go back to my country?
Right. This is a very good question. I definitely like to explain in very detail.
Sure.
People think once they get into UK, there's a no world after that.
Yeah.
Right. Going to UK back in days or going to UK now, there's a lot of difference. It's a lot easier to get a visa for United Kingdom, for England,
Yeah.
compared to back in England. Your youth is very educated. Your youth is more skillful. That's what England is needed.
Yeah.
There was a culture of going to England through illegal means.
Right.
That culture is almost or is
Over.
diminishing
Yeah.
or
Right.
is going down day by day because UK have very strict policies and resources
Right.
on the border. And that's why Brexit took place, because they want to take control of their borders.
Yeah.
Right. Country like England, where youth is very skillful, I'll be very honest and blunt with you. Pakistan, youth is very talented, youth is very educated. Youth is not as it used to be back in days.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we do not need to do anything. At the end of the day, you not put yourself in trouble as well as you give bad name to the country.
Right.
Now, UK government has made a special agreement with Pakistani government as
Okay.
well as other countries that if any of us stay in the UK, you take them back, then we give more visas to your country because you are law-abiding country with our immigration system.
True.
Very good move. That discourage people to go to England by illegal means.
Exactly.
Now-
But then how does it impact your business? Because that's where the solicitors come in, you know, for people who have been moving to UK, that too illegally, or people who've overstayed. That's where your job comes in.
Right. Our business is not to represent illegal people.
True.
Our job is to advise to the talented people. Right. I was in a show recently. There was a visa, UK artist visa.
Yeah.
Whoever has talent in dance, media, post animation, or culture or theatre, we can help them. And the new UK government, they want to take more brilliant people to the country. That's why the minister said that we will lay the red carpet for young, talented, educated people. That's why the new visa scheme called Global Talent Visa was introduced recently.
Wow.
Students, okay, I'll tell you something interesting. 39% of the UK university budget is funded by the foreign students.
Yeah.
Right? So our business tilt more towards that. And personally, I don't want to see human being in miseries or live without a valid visa status.
True.
At the end of the day, it gives bad name to your country as well.
That's very true. And Shahzad, we've seen that a lot of Pakistani students, or I think students from South Asia, consider England as a destination to acquire higher education. I think one of the reason is because English is spoken there and they don't have to face a lot of language barriers. But the Rishi Sunak recently mentioned that he is considering the cap on the foreign students coming there. How does that policy lays out? Does that mean that students who are considering UK as their destination for acquiring education, should they look to some other countries?
Very good question. I would like to answer this thoroughly. Right. What happened since COVID? There was obviously closure to the UK economy
True.
as well as the other world countries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Especially the Western countries hit very badly.
True.
Right. Okay. Because their country revenue based on the people coming from visa national countries. So what England has done after 10 years almost, they opened the new visa scheme called post-study work visa. You complete your degree and you get 2-year open work permit.
Like in Australia or Canada.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when sooner they announced this, people especially from India and Pakistan, their students found the opportunity. We spend, let's say, £15,000 over there for 1 year, complete our degree and get 2-year open work permit. We can earn this money back, plus we get experience within the UK.
Okay.
So when they opened this,
Right.
I myself seen thousands and thousands of people, students flew to England.
Okay.
Whether genuine student or not, that's a different debate.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of them has taken their dependents, children under the age of 18 and
Okay.
spouses with them,
Okay.
especially in India and Africa.
Okay.
So when it came to the attention of their current now Sula women into
Home
their
Minister.
attention,
Yeah.
they said, well, on the name of education visa, the net migration rate really hit the high, probably highest in last decade or so.
Yeah.
Right.
So now they are thinking, and by the end of the show, they probably made the new laws. You can come to student on certain universities, certain courses, don't bring your dependents, and there might not be PSW. I don't confirm officially, but there are news circulating around.
That this might happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
But on the other side, what we would say, go to the regulated people, either in England, and there are a lot of brilliant lawyer immigration advisors in Pakistan or elsewhere who can guide you through, who can, based on your career, they can tell you which visa you have to go for.
Yeah.
Just don't go blindly because somebody else got a visa, student visa, you should go that. No, don't do so, please.
Yeah.
Things get wrong when you make the wrong choices, you choose the wrong visa, and you choose the wrong reason to go to England. Please come to England, right visa, right strategy, right planning, and with the right person. Then your life would be a lot easier.
Yeah, so let's talk about it as well. I mean, obviously for people who are 18 or 20 and looking to study, but they actually want to overstay as well, or probably just want to stay back in the England or UK, what do you think they should opt for? Obviously, the only option is a student visa.
Right.
To get started with.
Unfortunately, this is a myth.
Okay.
Yes, you are right. The easiest, quickest, and more certain option is a study visa or a student visa.
Yeah.
However, there's a new scheme called Global Talent Visa Scheme that was introduced. If you are, let's say, you're a great anchor media person, you can come on this visa, right? You can learn from there. You can, once you're obviously in the country, in the UK, you can make inroads. You can look for the ventures.
True.
Look, UK economy is brilliant, vibrant. I must have told you.
True.
Right? UK is the land of opportunity. We used to say America. Yes, America is, but UK is as good as to any other country, especially
True,
the
true,
whole
true.
Europe.
True.
A, the culture. B, the diversity. C,
The
the pound
language.
sterling.
Right.
Political instability. Yes, there's a little bit of hiccups recently, but and it's very diversified, especially for Pakistanis. This is the center of your politicians, center of your artists, center of your
True.
food, religious freedom. Based on that, I must say, and there are a lot of Pakistanis over there. You always feel homely feeling over there,
True, true.
right?
Because there are a lot of Pakistanis there, right?
Yeah.
Yes, there are a lot of Asians there.
It's just the
Pakistani in
sun, I
particular
think. It's
there.
just the sun and the chapati we don't get over there. I mean, how can you have
Well,
pita bread every day?
I
be
think you
fair-
can get chapati if you're smart
No,
enough
but
to find it.
I think because the only thing we get over there is the pita bread, and that's something which me
I
and
think
my
you
father
need-
do
you
not
need
like
to
at all.
put more effort in that because
I think we can
get
do it
chapati.
ourselves. You know, there are roti makers in place as well, and then you know,
There, I'll
Tandoors.
be
Yeah.
honestly, yes, recently, well,
And
last
having
10
chippy
years,
most of the
a
time.
lot has been changed. If you go to Asian areas, Pakistani
True,
areas,
true.
there are beautiful restaurants over there. But what you have to do, there is another Pakistan within UK.
Yeah.
I must have said that. The same way there is another Europe in Pakistan. When I visited Islamabad this morning, I couldn't feel the difference whether I'm in the Europe or within Islamabad.
Thank
That's
you.
true.
Thank you
So
very much for saying
must-
that.
Yes. Look, Islamabad, as far as I know, one of the world's best
Capitals,
cities
yes.
in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
People are friendly, must have tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a bit lost.
And it's cheap too, right?
It's not
Yes.
cheap though, by the
Well,
way.
I
I
wouldn't
mean,
say,
for us not, but I think for someone who's living in the England, it's
Yeah,
very
obviously.
cheap for them, right?
no, for
For
me,
them,
even
even
not.
Dubai is cheap, yeah. Coming, earning in pounds and then spending in dirhams or probably Pakistani rupee, not cheap
But
at
one
all.
thing I must say, if I say England is a land of opportunities, Pakistan is a land of resourceful people.
Exactly.
True.
Our youth is very, very, very skilled.
True.
And to be fair, look at the UK Parliament, look at the UK doctors,
Yeah.
engineers,
Even mayors these
lawyers,
days.
mayors. There's a lot of Pakistani
True.
touch.
Yeah.
So let's not take away this credit. There is a talent. It just needs the right management,
Right.
right strategy, and I'm sure Pakistan
Inshallah.
it
Inshallah.
would
So
be
very
sorry.
quickly towards the end, there's just one last thing which I wanted to mention over here, and that is that, after Brexit, obviously, there will be a lot of human resource required by UK. And do you think that this will open up new opportunities for people to come from other countries and work for UK?
It already has.
Yes, exactly.
It already have. Right now, the UK started, like I said in the beginning, global talent visa, student visa, and there are other so many short-term visa, charity visa,
True.
which I was doing a lot of work. You don't have to have any qualification. You can come to the UK,
And just-
stay there for 1 year, seasonal worker visa. There's a lot of opportunities in the UK. Unfortunately, the Britishers over there, they're not as into the labor market
True.
as they should have been. Is because the culture of the UK is based on the foreign labor. Same in the Gulf countries.
True, true,
True.
true.
But in the UK, you get paid very, very well paid
True.
compared to Gulf countries.
Exactly.
Hence, people find it very attractive. And I'll tell you something interesting. Being practicing immigration law in the UK is a very lenient towards granting citizenship as compared to the rest of the Europe.
Exactly.
Yes.
Recently, they got a bit tight, to be fair, because
Right.
they got to be because of
The population was increasing. It was
right.
off charts.
Yeah.
Exactly. But thank you very much for being
Thank
with
you
us.
so
Lovely
much.
to be in conversation with you. And how do you think that for anybody who was watching our show today can get in touch with you? Please look into the camera, talk
right.
to them.
In order to get in touch with me, you can contact City Law Practice Solicitor or my City Group. I am mainly based in Birmingham, but we have offices across London, which is the capital, and other cities. Now we live in a digital age. We're just a phone call away.
Yeah.
Hard to answer all the time, or personally, but we have team of lawyers, British lawyers, barristers. We're always there for our youth, for the talent, skillful people in Pakistan or wherever the Pakistanis are in the world, not just within Pakistan, out of Pakistan, or anybody who want to come to the UK. Even they're not Pakistani, we welcome everybody. That's what the Pakistani culture is all about.
Wonderful.
Exactly, that's wonderful. And just very quickly, for anybody who's actually going to call and kind of, tell them that that you watched them on World this morning, there's a 20% fee cut as well. Done?
Okay, I happily make this announcement. Whoever mentioned PTV World, whoever mentioned
Shahzad
Hajra
and Adra, yes.
and Shahzad Saab, luckily we wearing the same suit. It just happened by coincidence, and we little bit look alike. Two handsome men. I must have said that.
Well, a 20% fee cut. Done?
20% free discount if they mention PTV World, and if they mention Hajra, I give another 5%, and Shahzad another 6%.
Wow, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for being with us. Wonderful to be in conversation with you. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, one of those subjects which is very close to people over here within the villages of Punjab, or may it be KPK, or may it be Sindh, or may it be Balochistan, or even in Kashmir. So with that, we're actually heading out towards a short break, but today we will be continuing to talk about overseas and their problems, what they face in everyday life. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We'll have another guest. Thank you so much. Good morning.